and I just was so sick of it, and I refused to buy the bigger clothes. So I'm like, I need to do something about it. What is up, y'all? I am Sarah, if you didn't know. I'm the founder of the Mommy Pockets, and I'm going to be sharing with y'all my transformation story today. So, we'll backtrack a little bit and start y'all off with who I was before becoming a mom and to now. Well, before having Michael, I grew up, I was always active, I was always in sports, always doing something. Even through college, for my extracurricular, like, you need your extra credits, I took kickboxing, I took yoga, I took Pilates, I took any kind of physical activity that I could use or that I could participate in. That was my class. However, I also hung out with people who enjoyed going out often. So I was in more of the party scene, and I never really I always wanted that fitness, but I didn't ever have that drive to be as fit as I know I could be. I had a lot of fun, but it wasn't what I wanted deep down. I was having a great time, but at the same time, it's like I also wanted to be fit. I just didn't have enough motivation to really get there. And then, I got pregnant, and I remember Kevin and I had just gotten back from a trip. We did a week in California, and we were both like so bloated and tired and just, out of shape. And we're like, all right, let's get these bodies back that we had a few months ago. And I was working out, and I was not losing any weight. For like a couple weeks, I could not figure out, I'm like, I'm gaining weight, and I'm so like I just felt like a puffer fish. And I remember sitting in the sauna in the gym, and I got so lightheaded after being in there for 5 minutes, and I could not figure out why. Come to find out, I was pregnant with little man. So I took my workouts way down. I'd always went as hard as possible in the gym, and I didn't want to overdo it. And it was my first baby, it was my first time being pregnant, so I didn't really know what to do. I was so scared I was gonna hurt Michael. So I'm like, okay, not overdoing it, not overstressing. And then I got sciatica so bad. Kevin and I were in New York. It was a birthday present from him. We went to see The Lion King on Broadway, which I absolutely recommend y'all doing if you haven't been in New York or if you've always wanted to see a show on Broadway. The Lion King is so great, and I just remember crying of happiness. I was probably with the hormones, but it was so cool because it was always on my bucket list. I'd always wanted to see it on Broadway, and Kevin made that a reality for me, and I still am so giddy about it today. We were walking down to Times Square, and we were trying to hurry, and all of a sudden, I get the most sharpest shooting pain in my left butt, and I remember I just froze, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and Kevin's like, what? He's like, what? And I'm like, I can't walk, I can't move, and he just thinks I'm being over dramatic. And he's like, you're fine. And I'm like, no, I'm not. There's something seriously wrong with me. I don't know what it is. I can't walk. My whole back is completely cramped. And at this time, I didn't know what sciatica was. And I just thought it was, a pinched nerve or something from walking too fast. I didn't realize that it was a side effect of being pregnant, and probably the way Michael was sitting inside. That was in December, and Michael was due in June. So from December to June, I had the worst sciatica problems throughout the whole time. So my workout levels went from very light to non-existent, and I was having all the cravings I could possibly want, and I wanted nothing but carbs and pasta, and I just was wanting bread. I had to have bread with every meal, and I wanted pasta, and I had to have desserts, just some kind of chocolate, some kind of dessert with everything. And I was obsessed with strawberry lemonade and these cucumber frescas that I came out with. But all of that added up. Then at 28 weeks, I found out I had gestational diabetes because of being pregnant, and it was just like, you know, all of this stuff. So I gained so much weight in that last trimester, and I just remember just feeling like I am such, you know, just a giant whale is what I felt like, right? I was just so anxious and ready to have Michael and get back to working out and get in shape and just, you know, have the body I had and fit in my clothes again. Like, that is all I wanted, was to have clothes again, because I wore leggings all through my pregnancy. So I was just very uncomfortable throughout my whole pregnancy as far as clothing was concerned. And then I had Michael, and after that I had gone through so many, I feel, physical obstacles, and I wanted to work out and I wanted to this, you know. Once 6 weeks started, I tried going for a walk, and I literally, like, I was having such bad pains in, like, I guess, I don't know if it's the groin, but like my hip flexors and just like my lower back. Even to this day, like, I've thrown my back twice this week, this morning actually. So it's been really, really rough. You know, it's been an ongoing battle with my fitness journey. And with that, we discovered this gym called F45. And I was really uneasy about it just because I had so many struggles. I was going to the gym, I was doing workouts, everything that I used to do. And that is so hard for me because I love lifting heavy and I love going as hard as possible in the gym. And so not being able to do that for so long, even now, I don't even feel like I'm really doing it as hard as I could go, because I know that I wouldn't say it's limitations, but I have to be really cautious on how I go about doing things because of my back. Please pass for the coffee break. So good. Oh my gosh. When I first started, it was more of mobility. I really feel that it was a mobility limitation. And so with this gym, you know, starting to use different types of mobility exercises and workouts and stuff like that, it just really got my body back into moving again the way I used to. And it was so exciting. I fell in love with it. I loved it because it's 45 minutes, it is functional, and they modified things in the beginning for me to make it work for my situation. And I absolutely loved that because I love working out and I want to be able to work out as hard as possible, but I also have to know that I'm coming up pretty much from the very beginning all over again. And mentally, that's, I think, that's been one of my hardest struggles, is knowing I'm starting back at ground zero and I'm building all the way back up. That sucks, honestly. They have these challenges, and I remember, like, on the screens they have them like F45 challenge and these big transformations. Like, that kind of sounds cool. Like, how much is it? What do I need to do? What's the prizes? I'm competitive, so like, it's free. And I'm like, really? I was like, all right, like, when's the next one? Lo and behold, the next one was the perfect time. There wasn't any major events that was going to keep me from giving into temptation, or especially in the holiday season. But I just, you know, I was really anxious and wanting to get this going, and I wanted to change. I was ready for a change. That is really just what pushed me, motivated. I'm like, I want to fit in my clothes again. And I've never believed in buying bigger clothes. One of my ways of staying fit and staying lean is never buying bigger clothes. I have like one or probably like two pair of big girl pants that is like a size or two bigger than what I would normally have, only for certain times of the month. I only have like a couple, so I was very limited on anything that I've been able to wear for the last year. I joined the challenge, and oh my gosh, was it a journey. It was 8 weeks. The challenge is only 8 weeks, and it's a season. And I've always been told by mentors of mine, sacrifice a season to gain permanent satisfaction and get those goals that you want. So that's what I did. I sacrificed 8 weeks, and it was a challenge. There was definitely peaks and there was definitely valleys, and the first week sucked ass. It sucked. No, there is no hoorah about that. It sucked. I love coffee, I love sugar, and I enjoy happy hour nachos and margaritas. You can't have any of that. Not having carbs and sugar and coffee or caffeine for 2 weeks sucked. I was so temperamental and so angry, and I remember Kevin's friends. I hadn't ever met them before, and I'm pretty sure they thought I was an absolute psycho. They're like, what is Kevin doing to this girl? Because I was just like on a whole other, like I was just, a pinball in the machine. I was like that, but with emotions, because I was starving. I remember just like having the shakes because my body just wanted caffeine and wanted sugar so bad, and I was always hungry because I was used to eating big meals, and my body was just like in shock. I put my body in shock of detoxing. And you actually, if you go and look back at my blogs, you can see I do discuss my challenge throughout and how I was going through it and the changes that I was feeling at the time. But it was definitely, it sucked. So then after the first week, I started, it leveled out. My body fully detoxed, and I was feeling a lot more energized. Maybe like 2 weeks actually. I don't know. I was feeling, happy again. I had my energy levels leveled out, and going through that. And then the next level is like a 4-week phase. It is kind of like just a maintenance phase. That is where I learned about nutrition and really healthy alternatives and different things that you can eat that are really good for you that you wouldn't normally think about. Like this whole 8-week challenge taught me so much about different nutritional alternatives, because we were honestly probably on like the same 5 or 6 meals every week, and I was so sick and tired of it. I was really excited to start learning and gaining knowledge on new recipes to eat that were healthier and better for me. But like through those 4 weeks, I remember we found out that the grand prize is Bora Bora. It's always just been a dream of mine to go to Bora Bora, and so I'm like, Kevin, get some pictures of Bora Bora and print them out, like at least 2 or 3, so I can hang on the fridge, the door, the mirror. And he brought some home. I hung it on the fridge, wrote some motivational things on there, and then I hung it on my mirror in the bathroom so I could see it every single day as a reminder of what I was doing. Some of the biggest, like I said, it's a battle. It's a mental battle that you go through. Mental battle, physical battle, emotional battle. There's so many times that I just wanted to give up and I wanted to give in. And with that, I removed myself from situations that I knew I would be vulnerable in. You have the cravings. The cravings don't go away. They just become larger exponentially as the time goes. And I just had to remove myself from giving into temptation. And I didn't want to cheat on myself. I didn't want to be in a state or in a position or in an environment where I knew I would give into temptation. I just sacrificed those for the 8 weeks. I have a lot of willpower. I have a lot of self-control. But nachos are like my kryptonite. And I did give in a few times. There was probably like 3 during 8 weeks. I removed myself from giving into temptation throughout the 8 weeks for the most part. Through those 8 weeks, I got sick twice. I came down with some kind of stomach bug, so I was eating like soup and things that I knew were gonna like keep my stomach, like crackers and stuff like that. And I was drinking Gatorade and Sprite opposed to just drinking water. And I was drinking that too, but I was drinking other things to get my electrolytes back, and that sucks. So pretty much like a week and a half, I was out of the game, and that was just such a bummer. I had to kind of take a step back from the meal plan, and that sucked, but we got through it, and I felt better, and I just went even harder to the gym, and even harder and stricter. I kind of portioned controlled a little more immediately following, once I was able to start putting everything back to the meal plan. I was like, all right, let's go, let's do this. With doing this journey, I actually became way more focused and way more time efficient on getting things done that may have been put off because of the distractions and the happy hours, which, by the way, Kim and I love happy hours, you can't tell. But I just was really, really distracted. I felt like before this 8-week challenge and doing the meal plans and being consistent, which is huge. It's all about consistency. If you can sacrifice a season, you will see a huge, significant difference. Just get your head down, stay laser focused, and grind, and just have a goal set. Make tiny goals along the way to achieve the big goal and the big objective that you're going for. I feel like with this fitness journey in transformation, that's exactly what it did. My goal was to be under 15% body fat and around 118 to 120. When I started out, I was at 135 pounds and I was at 25% body fat. When I ended, and I cried. Like, we got in the car after leaving the place to check in, and I cried because I just was so overwhelmed with actually achieving my goal. As humans, a lot of people don't really achieve their goals, and that's a big accomplishment. Something I saw so far off in the distance, like so far off, something I didn't really think was obtainable. I just slapped it on there and I'm like, this is where I want to be. And because the competition, I knew the last winner had lost like 11.1% body fat, so I'm like, I knew I needed to be at those weights and those, statistically, I needed to be there to even be considered as a winning number. And so that was my goal. I'm like, I'm going to win. So I put those on my thing and I stepped on the scale and it came up and I looked and I just remember like trying to hold it in and contain it. I'm like, oh my God, I did it. I was at 14.5% body fat and 118 pounds. I freaking did it. I was so excited. I just didn't even know how to feel. I'm like, oh my gosh, I did it. Like, I'm done. I'm done with the challenge. Like, I can eat what I want. I can do it. I can have a donut. Oh my gosh. And so that whole day, it was just kind of like a whirlwind. And I just remember, like, I laid in bed for probably like an hour and just like relaxed and like I felt like there was just a huge wave of stress relief off of my shoulders. And now that I'm done, it's like, all right, what next? I don't want to stop this journey. Like, I feel like it was just the beginning stepping stone to really getting where I want to be and really just catapulting me into my fitness journey and career and everything that I've always wanted, because now I'm not distracted anymore and now I know that I can actually do it. So I just stayed consistent. I really focused. I stuck with the meal plans 95% besides the times that I got sick. I do recommend just avoiding all temptation as possible. And it's just for a season. It's just for a season. It's a season of sacrifice for a reason. And that's really the biggest thing. Like, what is, cheating one time gonna do? It's not gonna get you anywhere closer to where you wanna be. I was all in. Like, there was no, like, I remember there was times, people that I was close to were like, it's fine, and, just have one. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, don't try to tempt me. I don't give two F's. Like, whatever the hell you're gonna try to get me to do, I'm not doing it. Just not doing it. Just no. And I was, very stern about it. I was not giving in to anything, and I was 100% committed the whole time. And this transformation, I'm really excited. I lost 15 pounds and 11% body fat. And now I feel like I'm just beginning my true fitness journey. I know, I feel like I was here and now I'm here. And I want to go here next. And so by the end of the year, we're going to see where we go. And I'm just so excited and so focused on just getting to the next level. So Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And you coming along my fitness journey with me and hearing how my transformation went. I would love to hear your transformations. If you guys are trying to do a transformation and lose a amount of weight, if you want to get focused, stay consistent, find something that works for you, try the challenge out. It's free to download. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks so much for watching.